Nothing really invested into this round from Gambit. A few HE grenades, some smokes as well. Gonna be interested to see what Dosia does. He does go towards drop down, but not boosted up, and this looks like the B rush once again. It has been successful for Immortals, but it can fall apart very quickly. They could go for a few set piece smokes as well, but here comes the commitment.
Stuff for Dosia, good position this time, goes back out! There's 3 letters in sex, and he's the god of all 3 kills. Bolts, he's gonna wrap back around and do what he can. Tags go through, it's Dosia down to 19. But the round is in the favor of Gambit. Hanny continuing on with the T side of AWP. They're locked out for now, but the HP's low enough. Dosia's up to 4. Not quite going to get the ace. Henny's pulled it back one-on-one. Both kills in the sight, bombs in his hands. It may still favor him because Hobbit has to get in a better position. He has the HP advantage. They're both on AKs, back off to the angle, and Henny clutches it back with 4 of his own.
What a round that was. How has Dosia pulled off 4 kills? They had 1 AK-47 into that one. You think he's done it. That's surely it. But Henny, known as an AWPer, steps up there with the AK-47, pulls it back in favor of Immortals. 6-2. This is going to be a good grand final. 2 very skilled teams on the server right now. It's going to be electrifying. And it's Dosia. What a spray down. We said he could get boosted up. He does. This time towards the tree position. Perfect spray control, but it wasn't enough. They get a buy into round number 9 here, but UMP's out once again. But Mo, more importantly, he's got the AWP. No kits available for Gambit, and more fast-paced gameplay here.
The single AKs being carried over in this tournament might be the most success rate we've ever seen. We saw it yesterday for Immortals against Virtus Pro in a very, very important round on Mirage. We saw it for Simple in the group stages for Navi on Train. We nearly saw it for Gambit, but Immortals hold true and take a lead 6-2. Fast play again, by the way. They were just getting Dosia into a position to counter, and they're already through the smokes that were deployed.
Absolutely. That's why I always say try and go for those defaults. When you know a weapon's up and they're going to be eco, just try and work out where it is instead of running into a potential stack. Dosia, fantastic work, but not quite enough. It's all gone quiet now. The Immortals back towards B, Molotov towards drop down. Dosia does have to fall back. Like we said, no kits and almost no utility. About 1 incendiary left, that's it. A flashbang as well, but Henny finds the shot. Takes down Dosia, 5-on-4 with time remaining as well.
Back in for Henny, pre-scoped. No stopping the man. Gandalf might have, but Hobbit can't. Good shot back from O. You mentioned the AWP. Steel puts it down already, though. That opens the sight again for Immortals, and he's got a shot over the top. Zeus at least upgrades onto an AK. Gives him a better chance. The 1 versus 2, but he goes in quick. Steel's ready for that as well.
This is looking like a very one-sided affair now. Immortals have turned up the play. The money's just not getting going at all for Gambit. Every round they win, they're getting shut down. Has to be another eco here. They can have a partial buy. In terms of loss bonus, it's maximum next round. So they can bring out 5.7s, P250s, Deagles. That's probably about it. Maybe some body armor here or there, but you have to say the Brazilians are firing on all cylinders right now. Henny with some amazing rounds. KNG as well. Henny's currently on 11 kills. And I believe 1 death as well. Yeah, he's playing. He's turning up. We'll get into round number 10. 7-2 in favor of Immortals on the T side of Cobblestone. The Eagles are out. Zeus with the body armor, no nades to work with. But Dosia, decent angle with the Deagle. And Henny opens things up once again.
Immortals are doing such good work again early to put themselves in a really unreachable position. ANG trying to start it. Decent shot, Dosia. Let's not get too carried away. They still only have the pistols. The guns are so far out of reach they cannot upgrade. Smoke down on the alley. Oh, Tink again on Bolt. Insignificant from that range. Bolt is able to spray back despite the vision. Dosia wants in the smoke. The smoke will cost him. He goes through, and Zeus down as well. Immortals slow the pace when needed. They have been playing fast against the Indigos. You mentioned they were struggling to do that in the tournament. Now they're slowing it down as soon as they lose 2 kills to make sure they don't get carried away.
Yeah, it's looking brilliant, but now finally things starting to stabilize with Gambit. They can bring out the AWP, they can bring defuse kits, a full array of utility as well. That's what we needed here. This team doesn't usually fall back to double AWP setup, so I don't think we'll be seeing much of that from them. Hobbit, at one point, was looking like one of the most exciting players in CSGO. We'll see if he can step up there. Hasn't really shown much in this grand final as of yet, but still early days. 8-2. Bolts and Steel They're hunting towards the upper platform, still looking aggressive. Flashbang goes in, he wants this pick, but he can't find it. Hobbit shuts him down. It's a 5-on-4, finally advantage for Gambit here.
Good shot back, Lucas, to control it. Gambit still in a position, though, with Mo on the AWP at long. Change of pace from having him toward B early on. And he nearly spotted him. He might be, in terms of start to finish of the event, hold my thought. Good shot from Doja. He holds the angle, holds. Good backstab, looks the wrong way. Mo's got the kill. They may have a round, but they need to keep everyone alive. Shake hands, boys. We're all friends. They've lost track of each other ever so slightly. That puts Henny behind, but a missed shot. A missed shot and Doja to capitalize. I was going to say Henny might be the most improved player from the start of this event to where we are right now. In the group stages, he looked slow, but he has looked incredible in the last 2 series.
Yeah, it was timed as well. He's known as the main AWPer for Immortals, but he had to give up that role because KNG was just outshining him in every single aspect, and he did look very quiet, but today, he's turning up. He's currently on 13 kills, 2 deaths, but that's a lovely round by Gambit. Just about holding on there after getting the first frag. It's Mo, of course. It's Immortals trying to show presence towards B. They're suggesting we're rushing it once again. Still gets flashed in, a couple of smokes deployed, but he got taken down. And at that point, Gambit more than happy to keep players towards the A side of the map, and they pick up their 3rd round. Not a huge chance of a full reset here. It wouldn't be as devastating as before, but certainly not ideal. Double Orb does come out for Adren. There with Mo, and they go towards B once again. A simple execution. More smokes will be deployed. Off the bat, the set piece. They fall back with this one, you know. Don't have to fully commit, so they go towards drop down.
Get in there though, Bolt's quick to take down Zeus. Again, the opener for Immortals. Good response from Mo though to hold off to make sure the connector's not lost. Hobbit, he might need to disappear. Put on the Precious, but he's not invisible long enough because Henny's able to pop back out and detect. Apparition eyes for Doja as he gets through the edge of the smoke. Steal found. Doja's having a great game as well. Looks for more. Tags Henny. Needs to be aware that KNG's still inside of the site. He's going to go looking for him. Mo just needs to hold an angle on the AWP. He's going to try. And it'll be toward the wall because he knows that as well. The AWP is Henny is in the same position. It's in the position and he's found it. Good read. Nearly gets set for the other. But it's the king to clutch. And he will do just that. Doja walks into it. 9 for Immortals.
Huge performance from KNG once again. Immortals, that is looking so good right now. The execution, I love that. All the smokes going in, the flashbangs as well, and they send 3 players back towards the drop down. Did you see how blind that player was waiting for them as well? Got completely wrecked. They go for the connector, they're holding off the rotations, and it's up to Doja. Like he said, he's having a great game, but he can't do enough at this point. We have to go into another force buy situation for the CTs. We did say the reset wouldn't be as destructive as it was before. It's still not great. 2 M4s. A UMP and a shotgun coming out for Zeus. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We'll see whether this does anything for them. Lose this one, it's going to be 10-3, and they potentially don't have money for the rest of this half.
Not had much time to sit back and let the play materialize in this. It's been so high paced as we expected between these 2 teams, but this round a lot slower.
It will slow down when Gambit on the T side. Guarantee that.
Yes. Yes, that's a CIS special, that one is.
They might not have a chance to make a dent at this rate. No kits, no smokes, no incendiaries. A couple of flashbangs and a decoy. That's all Gambit have to work with here. Slow and methodical stuff from Immortals so far. Full default bombs down in the B halls. Lucas working towards long A. That's going to be a key duel over there. Mo waiting on the other side. Here it comes. Can Lucas find this pick? Doesn't want to fully commit just yet. As he falls back, we might have to focus towards the B side.
Lucas will again go toward long. It'll be conceded early. There's not much toward A at all if they just make a straight contact. 30 seconds. Mo is all that is here, and Mo's gonna have to be perfect. Good pre-fire on angle from Lucas, excuse me. And G enters therefore, and it might be an early call. Might have to, because they don't have the site. The problem is even if they make the early call, they're gonna have bolts close enough by with, well, he's only got $50. That's the other bizarre part of this, by the way. Get 1 quick kill. It's the Hobbit pistol to try and run out and ascertain if they are trying to flank. But that's the crazy thing, that the money has been actually quite honest. It's just that they can never get that second round in to break them. Every time they get close or whittle them down, they just don't get the ensuing round, then Immortals jump right back out to a lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Immortals this time. Another slow default. They know that the Gambit economy was going to be weak, trying to ascertain what kind of weaponry they really have there. Going towards long air, Lucas slowly but surely got to the end. He gets that first pick, calls the A sides open, and Gambit, they have no choice but to save. You need utility to retake the A bomb site, especially when you have the map disadvantage as well. You're going to attempt that. You need defuse kits, and they just didn't have either. And 3 weapons save for Gambit, but still, things looking pretty bleak. Immortals playing out of their minds right now. Top fraggers at the moment. Bolts, he had another great tournament. He's been fantastic in this major campaign. Ever since the minor to the qualifier itself and getting to this event, been so consistent for them. Really developed as a player since we saw him playing for Luminosity.
Let's not forget to reflect back on Immortals' journey even into the playoffs. In a 2-1 matchup, they played against SK.
Yep.
And we were thinking to ourselves, okay, again, SK. Then, and I'm going to take this phrase again, they're no longer the baby brother, but at the time, you know, still the team everyone was favoring in this event. Immortals, they just finally made it to a major. SK did beat them quite convincingly. We weren't even sure Immortals were going to make the playoffs, and then they take down a number of incredible teams. Big was on a run, Immortals bested them. Virtus Pro at home in front of all of these fans, Immortals bested them. And now Gambit, the team that sits at 7-1. We took down Astralis, are struggling against what I will call just firepower at this point.
And a great approach as well. There's a great mixture of pace. Very slow defaults, fast set pieces, fast commitments in terms of rushes as well. They keep mixing it up, and Gambit just can't get comfortable here. It's round number 14, the closing sectors of the first half. Looks like that fast pace coming in once again, but it works against KNG this time. Mo with the pistol gets him the advantage. And he might be able to get the rifle as well. I don't think it's in his reach as he takes a nade to the face.
Back off for Mo because the flame's too hot. It's over. Can't quite land the headshot. He was correct on his anticipation of angle. Woke off the drop room. That'll control and contain for a moment longer. Still the man advantage despite not having the weapons.
They're trying to get that rifle in towards the drop down position. They know they need it. Mo has managed to get boosted up. Hasn't found it just yet. Low HP, surely dealt with. A couple of frags for Immortals. Make it 3. It's all starting to fall apart once again for Gambit. It's going to be the AK-47 for Dosia and Adren on the M4. 1 kit, no nades, and this is the play. Can he do anything with it? Apparently not. It's going to be round number 11 for Immortals, guaranteed at this point. Dosia, the upper platform, has to try and do something with this one. He needs to start posting rounds on the board here.
Back to a good read. Bomb. I take it back. It's not going to go all the way around. 35 seconds. They're just going to push in. They know Doge is definitely in the site somewhere. And the boost up a drop. Even though they had the man advantage, they didn't have the guns and pistols. They wanted to still take the fight. Fortunately, this time Immortals, as I mentioned, when they are up against Antigo, slow down after losing the man. I get another round. Surprised not to see more timeouts, by the way.
Just to notice what we commented this yesterday, if you remember Immortals when they first got on the stage there, how emotional and passionate they were, jumping out of their seats, they looked so calm. They said to themselves, like we spoke to Zach, the coach, was saying, like, we know we're not going to win games like that. Sure, it might help us at the time, but when things go wrong, we need to be calm. We want a slow-paced gameplay as well. Everyone has to know their role and playing with discipline.
I think that as much had to do with responding to Big as well. A lot of knives in that game, a lot of nade damage. It was a brawl. We know Tabson and Lagia love to taunt. So I think that was just literally going back and forth with Big. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's round number 15, man. Looking for 12-3, and as we said, Gambit, fantastic T-sided team, but they might not have a chance to even show us what they're made of on that side. Likely to be 12-3, they lose a pistol, this could be a very, very quick game. The first map of the grand final here, the major. Gambit up against the ropes here, got 3 UMPs, 2 pistols, and the 15. Immortals, once again, just dissecting the map, and so good at this. Baiting on that CT utility, and once again, it's non-existent. 1 incendiary. They just haven't had a stable economy throughout this first map.
Bolts is going to go, but could overstep Hobbit's close position. He's been tagged considerably, so to his steal. If they push through, there's a crossfire set, but Hobbit able to slide up the wall. Could surprise them all. KNG especially doesn't have a gun drawn. Finds the kill, wants the gun, but gets a little bit too tunneled and zoned in toward it. Catches him out.
Got some good damage in though, so it's still a 4-on-4, which technically favors the T-side, and even more so with the current buys, but still 52 HP, Bolts 27, as they start their contact play towards the B sides, up to the drone with the UMP. Defensive position, not fully committing, has to cause damage here.
Ren wants to swing out, perfectly times it. No kill from Steel, in fact, damage. Not worse for wear in the initial exchange, not to mention the second, but the twins again step up. Henny and Lucas finding kills. It's down to Zeus and Mo, both of which are on UMPs, one of which is on a flank. Made the flank work, Mo finds the kill. Henny's in the open, they know it. Mo's picked up an AK, but he has to get Lucas first. He knows he's gonna be faced off by Lucas. Has the tighter angle. Holy, risky on the movement, risky on the play, and Henny with the fast snap to the left. He's gonna put Immortals on 12-3 at half.
We said Henny's had a quiet tournament, but in the grand final, in the first half, he dropped 18 frags, clutches out the last round as well. He's died 3 times. How nuts is that? Henny has been amazing here. We said KNG's been the MVP for Immortal, but so far, Henny, he has stepped up. He's delivered something world-class here. Gambit, looking at 6s and 7s right now. They don't really know what they can do about this situation. Loses pistol, this map's over. It won't be happening. And Matt, I've spotted something quite interesting here towards the pistol. We've got some Julies out, but maybe that's the reason we might have a pause. Are we okay? We're okay. It's fine. The Julies are going to be committed. I was about to say, surely they're not going to be used, but they are going to be used. Here we go.
2 is better than 1. That's what I've always said, Henry.
It's true.
Sometimes 4. Mo goes out toward long with the dualies in hand.
I don't get this at all. It's the first time in a major final we had Julies, I think.
All the way around the corner. Dualies gonna have to be aggressive. Doja's got 1. Dualies can be aggressive. Jumping and firing. 2 back in sight though, and Steel's got first kill. What is the third one? Because he doesn't even need to. He's got his teammate there to peek him beside. Bolts does nothing. And Henny pops out to close it. Steel shuts them down. And you mentioned the pistol being the end. Well, it might be indeed. 13-3. And momentum for the CT side.
1 lifeline left. I'm sure all CSGO fans know how deadly the Tech-9 can be. Along with the Desert Eagle as well, this force fight does come in. It's not over just yet. They can squeeze this round out just about, but it's unlikely. But still, everyone seems to be performing for Immortals right now. This 5-man unit seems to be getting better and better as the tournament gets through. And Zeus knows it. Why are we buying Julies, guys? Why are we doing this? You got 1 kill, I guess, but you just don't have the range at that point. It's an interesting decision, but there you go. And we're going to have a long air rush here from Mo. Trying to take down Lucas, but I don't think he'll get this kill. Yeah, taken down. 5-on-4. This could be a very quick first map of the best of 3.
Very different teams. The second time Zeus has played against a Brazilian in their first final. Columbus, they got battered and bruised, and he's faring no better here on map 1.
Just a note as well, this is of course Immortals pick. We do move on the train as well, where Gambit should feel more at home.
You're gonna have to feel more at home.
Yeah, well, more than this.
Mention. Gambit did beat Astralis on train, but not to mention we go to Inferno, which yes, both teams have had success on, but Immortals took down big and have been playing very fast on the map. Virtus Pro had struggles. Back into the pistol for Doja. The Deagle, that is. Couldn't find the shot. Lucas gets it instead. Zeus next in line. Oh, he so nearly gets a kill. Steel and Lucas both go low, but KNG's got the top of the ramp. 3 kills for him. 2 to go.
Almost guaranteed at this point, Immortals haven't missed a beat whatsoever. 14-3. We did say Gambit, they could stand a chance on the T side. Zeus's teams historically, especially in Na'Vi, they were T-sided specialists on this map alone. You remember, Na'Vi used to get 5 rounds on Cobblestone, and then they'd be lights out on the T side because the tactics were so strong. Him in particular, he was always very good on this map, but I don't think we'll get a chance to see that kind of performance. They have to force buy once again. It's not ideal. And the financial turmoil for Gambit continues. It haven't been established in this map, and Immortals completely shutting them down in every facet of the game. Deagles, Tech-9s, sure there's armor, but a couple of smokes and flashbangs, that's about all they have to work with. Immortals know how tantalizingly close they are to closing this game out. No mistakes now, no aggression, let's just hold up, get the crossfires established. Do not give anything away to these Deagles.
And shots in, Doja's tagged as well. Starts it, takes down a Dren. Knew that he was in the corner, didn't know if he wanted to overcommit to the peak or not, but still managed to make it work. By the way, he's intentionally waiting out toward the statue at T. He's going to head toward B's pawn, or excuse me, B tunnels now, Doja. They're losing men elsewhere. He's hoping maybe there'll be an opening, someone rotating around, he can catch the kill and then go get the plant, but that doesn't look likely at this point in time. Or 5 versus 2, KG, excuse me, is still alive on 17, which is more than Doja has.
This has just been clinical. I can't tell you many mistakes Immortals have made, if any. It's been a perfect performance so far. Gambit, I don't have a response. It's going to be Dosia and Mo, low HP. The Eagles out, but one of that's gone. It's going to be Dosia now with the Tech 9. Surely this is map point, indeed it is. The Immortals have looked too strong.
Yeah, absolutely. A challenger team. Interestingly enough, I had a conversation, I think it was with Anders in Cologne, saying, I think this could be the first time we have a challenger team go all the way through.
Yeah.
I was speaking maybe more about Cloud9's performance in Cologne, more specifically maybe G2, who had to go back down. I did not expect this, and this is absolutely incredible. They're about to go up one map. I need just one more.
Yeah, it's been a masterclass of Counter-Strike. We'll break it down after this round, but still, it's desperate once more. Gambit, maybe just the B-rush here. The Eagles, Tech 9s, trying to do what they can. Rush through the fire, hope for the best. Henny to defend.
And he gets to the corner. Perfectly positioned. If they were to drop through, which they do, down goes Adren. He slips behind once more, but Doji's aware. Tech 9s are actually accumulating kills. Hobbits found another as Mo trades back. It's ball planted, headshot onto Lucas. Now they've got a real chance with that damage as well, but they themselves are not exactly perfect for life. Nade being thrown, Monu, he had a chance to capitalize, and KNG can't hit the shot on the off. We're not done yet, Gambit's got life. But a very, very marginal life at that.
15-4, it's going to take 11 rounds in a row. No mistakes at this point from Gambit. But the bad news is they haven't exactly broken the economy of Immortals. Double orbs coming out, and that's when they've been the absolute best on these CT sides. Henny, KNG, what a formidable duo that's going to be. Do Gambit have what it takes to get any deeper into this game? I think this one's done, I'm going to call it now, but it's good for Gambit to accumulate some rounds. I'll get warmed up on the stage, try and get the bigger names fragging, and see if Adren, he can find something here. He's been great for this tournament. He's currently on 5 for 17. He's just dropped off into his obscurity here. Has to start stepping up so that he can get like 5 rounds in a row at this point. Let's get his confidence back. They might be looking good for Trey.
Something we've mentioned before, players just getting rounds alive, getting some kills on the board to make sure that they have that confidence that you speak of, but a lot of time to do it. Mo's gonna get KNG back. Still just 2 left to find. It may go down to just 1. Steel has Adren. It's all onto Mo for Immortals to take map 1. Convincingly, anticlimactically in some ways, if you're on the Gambit side of things. Down, no one directly watching it. They don't need to. They can afford to watch sites instead. Takes no chance in smoking it off and a flash through as well. But if he thinks he's clever to outrun them, given that they'd be circling the bomb, not right on his anticipation. They got one over toward B no matter where he goes at this point in time, so back to A instead.
Ball versus 1. Mo trying to keep the dream alive. Gives his position away by shooting a dead corpse there, and that should be it. Lucas, it's been a masterclass of Counter-Strike for Immortals there. 22 frags for Henny. KNG not far behind either. They just didn't make a single mistake there. It's one of the most perfect games of CS I've seen. They used to be so dominant on the T-side of Cobble. It's dropped off in recent months, but they're back. Looking better than ever. A mixture of fast-paced gameplay, set pieces, methodical defaults as well. Every decision this seemed on point. The calls are amazing. And commiserated to Gambit in that first map. They just couldn't get rolling there whatsoever. If you think back to the rounds they actually won map, it was against the bonus round and the Mac-10s are out, and then Zeus in that 1v1 with like 1 second remaining with like 10 HP.
Yeah,
so that's all they really got in that first half.
Yeah, exactly that. And no control early in the rounds, no early picks that were sustainable, got shut down. I mean, again, you point out Henny, and rightfully so, incredible game, but Steel, second pistol, 3 amazing kills, and you've got to credit Lucas, because every time he seemed to enter at B long, he made it work.
He did.
The one round they did lose, unfortunately, which came down to the one-on-one, he got 3 kills in that one as well, so even when they weren't winning, he was still finding frags in that sense. Very, very good to see this much performance out of so many players on one team. Even some of the best performances we've seen from history teams, you don't see this much firepower show up at once.
Yeah, that's what I've always said about Immortals. Sure, they've got firepower, they've got talent, but it's the overall package just looked weak in the past. They didn't have the basic fundamentals down. The strategy wasn't really there. The defaults didn't really make sense to me, but that's all changed. The hard work's paid off. I think this major campaign they've had, as we saw them with the minor, the qualifier as well, they seem to be getting better and better as those tournaments went through, and what a time to peak at the major in the grand final. Playing like this, if Gambit don't wake up in the next map, it's going to be a clean 2-0. That's one of the best performances I've seen in quite a while.
Absolutely. This could be done very, very quickly. We're done on the desk, at least for now. We're going to send it back over to the panel with Paul.
A demonstrative performance from the Brazilians in the opening game. They've certainly come to play, haven't they, in the grand final. Gambit need to step up if they're going to make this a longer grand final, and we're back with Janko and Moses to break that first map down. Not an awful lot you can break down, though.
No, I wish there was some kind of like tactical way to explain why they were so dominant, but I mean, easily when it comes down to it, no one showed up for Gambit. It was like Doja for the majority of the game was the only player having impact. No one else was there with them, and then before you know it, you've snowballed out of control. I mean, yes, it was nice, obviously, when you have an opera like Henny. We talked about him and his inconsistencies. Boltz had a good game. He had 108 ADR. Lucas had another good game. And when you have all this, it wasn't anything special that was being done tactically. They were just so good at trading, so good at finding openings, and eventually it just like gets away from Gambit because they don't have economy to do anything. And then by the end of it, you could see they're so disheartened and they've kind of lost the morale. They've kind of lost their composure, and everyone's trying to make more plays, except they're making those plays into the op that's already on fire of Henny, and everything just kind of slid out of their control. But it has to be said, like, where's Adren, where's Hobbit? Like, these are the guys that need to be here for Gambit.
Absolutely. I mean, also when you look, this reminded me a little bit of the Immortals Virtus Pro Inferno game, because Immortals win pistol, 3-0 start, Gambit wins 2 rounds in a row after that, very, very close rounds, so their economy is still in danger, and Immortals with a force buy behind the saved AWP of Henny managed to win that round, and that breaks completely Gambit's economy. And I agree with Jason, you know, at the end it comes down to individual performances, in a sense that, you know, Dosha is able to get maybe 2 kills with first contact on B towards that platform, and then, you know, his team just isn't there to follow up. They lose the next duel or 2 duels, and after that Henny gets posted up with the AWP, and, you know, after that it's a very, very difficult situation for Gambit to come back into.
We haven't had many blowouts at this major. It's been very, very competitive all the way through. You often see both teams getting to double figures regardless of whether one team's more favoured than the other. I think 16-2 against Vegas Squadron, Virtus Pro in the opening group stage was about the biggest we've had. That's the second highest victory we've had, and it happens in the grand final. Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. I mean, one thing I was about to say before we were so rudely interrupted by the start of the grand finals was that one of the maybe tricks there is for the Immortal side on Cobble is the fact that, yes, it was so good for Gambit. This was one of their dominant maps, but they'd only played it twice in the past 3 months, just because they generally don't get allowed to play it. So this could be a map where they just thought they were so good and kind of let it slip through, and maybe they're a bit rusty on it, but I don't even think it would have necessarily mattered with the level that everyone came into. It's about individual performances, but not someone going crazy. It's the fact that they just were absent.
I mean, hold that thought a second. Let's just bring up the scoreboard and show you that. It's presented by Boomio, and it'll show you exactly where the frags went in this particular game. Sorry, Janko, carry on.
I mean, also the fact that no one on Immortals had, you know, the lowest was still with 75 ADR. That's still very, very high. 3 players over 90. The Immortals had a clear game plan. You know, they did a good job on the T side with running some set pieces and having some slower strats and so on. But at the end of the day, it was the fact that they were getting the entry kills every single time that made everything look so easy. You know, you have that one round also towards A, for example, where Mo is just falling back and Lucas by himself is creeping up towards A holes, and he gets that kill on him in stables, and that breaks the round. You know, that one kill, simply because the rest of the team is in no position to rotate. Immortals did a good job of rotating back to A from B, and Gambit's forced to save.
We mentioned our MVP, which we'll show you in just a second, at the start of the show, as a man that sometimes doesn't show up, but definitely showed up in the first game. Our MVP for game number 1 is Henny on the AWP.
Yeah, this guy loves Poland, and I think one of the great things is something that suits his style of opping very, very well, and is on this map, is that B platform. Like Keiko mentioned, once his team gets him secured in that position in a post-plant situation with his op at that box on platform, he's so strong. This is like, that's where he likes. He likes the peaks on each side of the boxes. He likes being aggressive. He can take those peaks and find cover very, very quickly. Very fast firing speed as well. So whenever he got into that position, it almost felt like he was unstoppable. Like you just couldn't get him out of there.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go too far away though, because we're going to get more thoughts from Moses and Janko after the break as we head into game number 2 and see whether Gambit can get back on even terms.
What up, guys? This is Jordan Gilbert.
We work with the world's top pros to teach you how to take your game to the next level with constantly updated training content. When you're done watching and want to train or warm up, just a few clicks will put you in your preferred training mods like Deathmatch. But why warm up for a match on Mirage by getting shot in the back on Dust 2? That's why we built Duels, real fights on real maps. 1 minute in Duels is like 20 rounds of real CS. Exclusively available on Boomio.com.
Grab your gear and let's go.
With the Strafe Esports app, follow your favorite teams and players, and you'll never miss a match again. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.
Oh, crap.
Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
I capture the pawn at E5. You lose your queen. Check. I think like a 40-year-old and...
Staszek, you could help in the kitchen instead of playing with that gizmo all the time.
She just won't let me play in peace. TP-Link connects with passion.
They have no idea he's that close. And looking for more. That's a third one coming in. Looking for the quad kill and nearly gets it.
Yes, there's one headshot and there's another.
And getting two big headshots, looking for more. Oh my god! And he's gonna go on Team J all the round of the weekend.
Agent Broughton, we have a mission for you.
Someone from the inside set me up.
She's smarter than we thought.
I've lost the target.
This was never part of the plan?
It was part of mine.
Atomic Blonde. My God, I think I love you.
That's too bad.
Rated R.
Taser.com, a competitive gaming platform. On Taser, you can find the toughest dudes in the galaxy.
I heard it's got all these great features for real gaming.
Yes, it has, Dan. Like a voice communication system, just post one to your friends. Introducing new Taser security system.
Wow, it's so lightweight. Feels like there's nothing inside.
Far out of her.